We
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asfaya and today we are again with another new guest. Name is Bradley. So without wasting time, let's get started. So hello Bradley, how are you?
I am actually very well sitting here in Mumbai, and life is good.
Okay, wonderful. So before moving on, question, can you introduce yourself to our watching?
Yes, good day to you, and your guests and listeners. As I said, I'm Bertie Lulu. I'm actually from South Africa, but spend most of my time nowadays traveling the globe. I've been in 7 countries in the last 12 months. So I am a business coach and mentor and an international speaker. That's why I'm here in Mumbai. I attended the Global Human Resource Development Congress um, in the last 3 days, and I also received an recognition as an international influential coach.
Okay, wonderful. So my first question in your screen is how do you define beyond thinking?
Yet, beyond, there's always an argument and a discussion around what is the role of a manager in an organization and what is the role of a leader, and whether a manager is also a leader and whether a leader is a manager. That is debate that will also always follow. But the concept of beyonder, or beyonderness, or beyond the thinker is those leaders that just think much wider, almost like an alchemist that feel that have access to the future in their thinking and in their beliefs. So where everybody else stop and say, cannot be done, I'm not going through, stop this, let's go back, let's find another solution. The beyonder, in terms of beyonder thinking, will come up with a solution that sometimes is quite surprising to anybody and often even to the beyonder himself. So the beyonder basically sees beyond whatever's in our way. So if you get to a forest and you got no idea what's in the other side of the forest, but the beyonder lives his life on the other side of the beyonder, almost like an eagle. The eagle will soar up in the sky and be able to see 360 degrees and a wide angle. The eagle knows what is in the other side of the forest, and therefore basing decisions on what he knows and anticipates.
Okay, nice and wonderful. So my next question in your screen is, can you provide example of what it means to dream unlimited?
Yes, I my talk as a matter of interest here in Mumbai was to move from to being invincible. And my previous talk when I was in Mumbai, I spoke about vision with imagination. And to a certain extent, both of them drive the same factors. I believe that you need to know who you are, what you're all about. In other words, do introspection, find out who am I, and that is your point of departure. Even when you dream, when you set goals, when you define visions, you've got to know who you are. In others, where you will be going. So dream unlimited means you must be brave, and you must trust yourself and your abilities to dream bigger than you can ever imagine. And that is dreaming unlimited. Don't be limited by what you can see as being your future. You use even your unconscious brain, delve into your own abilities to project and think unlimited about what is the potential that you can have. You guys are very young, you are starting out your life. So maybe through your personal experiences, you will limit your dreams to what you believe at this point in time is possible. But your future, and therefore your dream, it's possible, probably unlimited. So we'll have to use training. And that's what thinking about the dreams as an unlimited dream really means. Go beyond. Go beyond your own expectation.
Okay, nice, wonderful. So my next question in your screen is, how do you identify and unlock a person's unique potential?
As a coach, one of the starting point of a coach is to establish not what is your problem or what is your need at the moment or what is your pain, personal pain, because that is what you believe it is at the moment. What a coach needs to identify is what in your core is the driving and the drivers of you. What are you born to be? Okay? So I must establish what is your true potential through identifying where you come from, what you stand for, what you're passionate about. In other words, what is your defined purpose for your life? I must start there because that defines your individual unique potential. Because I say that we were all born unique and we were gifted by our God and trusted certain gifts that even defines our uniqueness. And therefore, in life, we were actually born to be different. We were born to stand out. But the most of us, because of different reasons, it could community, it could be school, it could be religion, it could be your community and the environment, your culture, that could could box you in. In other words, you live your life the way other people expect you to. In other words, you live your life just fitting in. But your uniqueness, your unique potential lies in what you were born to be, and that you must follow because that what you were uniquely born for will be your unique potential to help you to stand out. And as a coach, that's what I must find. I must coach you. And that's why coaching is not just a one session or a two session. It takes a long time to really get through your limiting beliefs to what you are really all about. I need to understand who is a heart, truly heart. Nobody else. Not what people tell me, not even what you tell me yourself when we meet. We go through this and we delve into your being to get that.
Okay, nice and great answer and wonderful. So, my next question in your screen is, what strategies do you use to help individuals overcome self-doubt?
So that to a very large extent is really the essence of my talk. Moving from being invisible to being invincible. Because being invisible is what we all start off with. How do I see myself, and therefore how do I carry myself into conversations amongst my friends, into business relationships, even my family circle? Um, is a self-belief. Am I able to do this? And if you don't find that answer, you will have a definition problem with who you are in terms of what is the identity you need to take. We all need a unique identity, and we have an identity of our own. I look different than you. So does everybody else. I'm all unique. So I might aspire to be like somebody else, but I can never be Ma or I can never be Elon Musk. I can aspire to be like him in terms of many things that he does that I like, that I think is good characteristics in terms of being successful. Okay, so that is crucial and that's very important. But and in order to help young people, I'm saying let's start to find out what you're passionate about. What do you love doing? Where do you spend your most of your time? What what stories do you read? What articles do you follow? And who do you follow on the internet or social media? It defines what you love doing. In other words, I must help you to establish that. Because if you can find out what you love doing, and you start doing what you love doing for the rest of your life, you have defined your purpose and you find why you're on this world, on this globe. And that is crucial, important. So I help people. I talk to them. Like I say, I coach them to find out what is inside them. That's an introspection. You tell me who you are, what you like, what you prefer, what you dislike, and why questions all the time about every one of them. And when we get to that, we find out who you are. And I'm saying to you, that's you. Trust your voice on your shoulder that tells you how great you are, because you are great, because you're uniquely born. You're born to be great. And that's what I help people with, to find that identity. In other words, to move from being invisible to be invincible, because I'm invincible if I am me. Nobody can tell me I'm not. I'm great. So I must just get to understand that and believe that unconditionally. Next question.
Okay, nice, wonderful. So my next question in your screen is how do you tailor your coaching approach to each client's specific needs?
Yeah, a good question. And it's always difficult to answer. Coaching, by definition, follows certain methodology. If you train as a coach, they teach you to follow certain steps, certain process. So that's what we all do. Doesn't matter what kind of coach I am. In principle, I use the same. But every client that I have, every coaching is different, uniquely different. So I need to handle his or her during a coaching session differently and uniquely. So every there's an English word that I talk about a bespoke solution, a bespoke solution. It's a unique solution designed, developed specifically for you, and that's what I do. So there is no steps that I follow um, for every person. I get to the same end result, yes, but sometimes I follow a different road because the individuals in their personal development and their personal status and their personal self belief and the challenges that they are facing is different. So I have to work through this first to get to a specific point in our coaching process. So that's why each coaching, each coachee is a different and unique. First step, coach uniquely different.
Okay, nice and wonderful answer. So my next question in your screen is uh,
So,
can you elaborate on the concept of setting impossible goals?
yeah. Yes. Yeah. Elaborate on setting impossible goals. That's what I use when I talk to management teams and even individuals to a certain extent to help them with creating a vision with imagination. Because at the end of the day, that is, and by their definition, they're concerned about me helping them or wishing them to define an impossible vision. But it's not. I approach it different. The way I do it, in actual fact, with an individual and with teams, maybe more specific with teams, is I say to them, elevate yourself into space. In other words, up there amongst the stars and the planets, up there in space, where there's nothing limiting your thinking. Because if we sit where we're sitting now, indirectly we are planning within the confines of this room, within the confines of our past experience, good and the bad and the ugly. So we strategize around what we know. But I want you to go into into space where everything there is unknown. And then from space, I say, let's look down at the world, at the globe. Let's then look at your continent. Let's look at your country. Let's look at your province or your state. Let's look at your town. Let's look at your office, and let's look at you where you're sitting in the office. In other words, it's a more than a top down. It's almost from an impossible big environment. Because the moment you do that, you have a bigger perspective of the possibility of what can be done. If you think from the bottom up, as I say, you always think from where you're at, what you believe you can do, what you can't do. It's all those things that you know. And I want you to go to things that you don't know that you do know. I want you to remember that. To go to the where you don't know, you do know, because there's a lot of things we don't know that we do know. And the moment we start looking at it from a different perspective, all of a sudden it comes out of our subconscious mind and we bring it forward. And in a team environment, if each of the team members just add one or two things that they didn't know that they knew to that meeting, it's fantastic. It's phenomenal. But before I go on, let me just um, share with you and your guests my definition of a vision. I tried, Googled it, and I what to get a clear definition of a vision. I could not get it, so I created my own. I say it's the imagined reflection of your perceived future. The imagined reflection of your perceived future. Now your question just was about the impossible goals, those imagined goals. And the reflection is what I see. Because when I have a goal, I must share it with myself so that I can believe it. Not necessarily share all your goals and your visions with your friends, because sometimes they will say you've lost your mind because they can't see what you see in terms of your dreams. They are a different person. They are a different, unique person. So let not people tell you that what you're dreaming to become is impossible. Stop trying. If we all in life stopped trying, the world would have been a very boring place. So just remember, imagine, reflection. I can see it, I can feel it, and I buy into it, of my perceived future. And remember, the other definition of perception is fact. My perception becomes my fact. In other words, that's my factual future. Imagined reflection of my factual future, my perceived future. If there's something that you can remember from this talk today, if you could just remember the 4 words: imagine, reflection of your perceived future.
Okay, there is a wonderful and great answer you are telling to me and our audience. So, my next question in your screen is how do you foster a scene of trust between and your client?
Yeah, it's very important between a coach and the coachee that he coaches or she that she get coached. It's important that we trust one another, because the relationship of a coach and his client, the coachee, is of utmost importance that there is 100% trust, because it's also built on confidentiality. I cannot share what you tell me to anybody else but yourself, but I do wish you to share your deep thoughts and your deep beliefs and your deep hurts. So if there is no trust, it's really one of the principles of good coaching that you say to the coachee, I'm sorry, my friend, I cannot coach you. So you better find another coach, because I will do you a disservice to try and coach you if there is no relationship built on trust. So trust is paramount, most important in a coaching relationship. that we don't trust one another. Good questions. Critically important.
Okay, thank you so much. And my next question in your screen is, what role does innovation play in coaching process?
Yeah, I'm brought up with ladies always tell us that they were born with intuition. They can see what us men is thinking and doing without being there. So that is the point of the departure always when it comes to intuition. But intuition is actually um, something that we were actually born with. That, um, and we must learn to appreciate and understand our intuition, because often this little voice on your shoulder that tells you stories, good things or bad things, don't do it, or do this. And those things, intuition is, to a certain extent, is what you feel from your gut. You know that there's three elements where we think from. We think from our brain, we think from our heart, and we think from our gut. There is um, there is the nerves in both, all three of them, that's brain cells that help us think. So your gut drives. Sometimes you might feel something, and that's your intuition. So in a coaching relationship, from the coach's perspective, sometimes you just feel in this conversation that everything is not said. There's something deeper that I need to establish before I can continue. Because as I said right at the beginning, coaching means I must get to your core, to get to the real you. What is troubling you? What are your dreams? I must understand that, because then I can coach you forward. I cannot coach you from today forward and say your past is the past. Your past influenced your daily lives. So it is crucially important that we understand. Okay. So, so in that process, it's really important to use your intuition, that everything is not scared, and then you'll find questions, open-ended questions, to get the coach talking, so that you can unearth that uncomfortableness, that which is your intuition is telling you. Now, the intuition is more a factor that the coach.
Okay, nice and great answer. So my next question in your screen is, can you explain the importance of having shoulders to stand on in personal growth? Your mic is muted. I can't hear you. Can you rejoin? Okay, no problem. There is its mic is not connected, so that's why his voice is not coming. So not problem. So thank you so much, Bertie, for your time and coming to our show. And now it's time to end the interview. I hope everyone who are watching who are learned something new from this interview. Goodbye, Allah Hafiz.